everybody, it's Teresa. Welcome to my channel. I'm going to make a very simple little bracelet and pair of earrings today that I think is going to match well with the tassel necklace I made on the last video from the bargain bead box, the latest bargain bead box, the Violet Glade collection. These are the beads I'm using. I'm using the 8mm faceted beads and some of the little rondelle beads and some of the bead caps and some of the teal rice beads. I'm using the toggle that came in the box, and I've got some jump rings and 2 wire guards and 2 2x2 crimp tubes, and I use the Bead crimp tubes. I'm going to make some little dangles because you know I've got to have dangles. So that's what's in here. It's one of the little rondelles, one of the rice beads, and one of the dragonfly spacer beads, and some ball head pins and some jump rings. And for my earrings, I've got in here a couple of the little 8mm faceted beads and the little rondelles and the bead caps and some eye pins and a couple of ball head pins and a couple of ear wires. I've got my soft flex beading wire in fine. I've got my bead stoppers. I've got pretty much all my tools. I've got my tweezer pliers, both pairs of my bent chain nose pliers. The tweezer pliers and bent chain nose pliers are Xuron, and I got these bent chain nose pliers from BB Craft. I've got my crimper from Bead, my round nose pliers from BB Craft. Got both pairs of my cutters. I use one pair for bead stringing wire and the other pair for head pins and eye pins, craft wire. And I've got my chain nose pliers. And I've got my little New Orleans shot glass that I'm going to put my little pieces of wire that I cut off in. And I think that's everything. Let me get some of this out of the way and I'll get started. Okay, this is a really simple little necklace. I think it's going to match well though with the tassel necklace that I made on the last video. As usual, I'm working off my spool here. I'm going to do one of the rice beads. I'm going to do one of these little rondelles with bead caps around it. And another rice bead. And then I'm going to do 3 of the faceted 8mm beads with bead caps around the middle one. I really like these bead caps. I like the size and the shape. I need more of these bead caps in my life. Okay, now I'm going to do another rice bead and another little rondelle with a bead cap around on each side. And another rice bead. And then 3 more of the 8mm with a bead cap around the center one. Another rice bead. Another little rondelle with bead caps around it. Another rice bead. Oh, I think I got a little bead in there I didn't need. I need 3 of the 8mm with bead caps around the middle one. If I can find the hole on him. He is hot. There he is. Can't hide from me forever. I will find you. And then a rice bead. And then a rondelle with bead caps around it. And I see what I did. I got one of those drop beads out instead of a rice bead. Hold on, let me get another rice bead. Got me a rice bead, and that's all we have left. Okay, so that's what I've got. And now I'm gonna crimp. Take my crimp tube, put it on my wire, and take a wire guardian and put it on my wire, and then come down the other side, other channel of my wire guardian with my bead stringing wire, go through my crimp tube, try to keep my wires from being crossed. And, oops, dropped my pliers. Okay, having butterfingers today. It's a good thing. I'm going to squish in my little wire guardian here just a little bit, really gently. Good thing the cat wasn't at my feet. She might have got hit in the head with my pliers. She wouldn't have liked that very much. Now I'm going to take my crimping pliers. I'll try to hold my wires apart. I'm going to go into the second part of the crimping pliers that has the little divot on one side and the notch on the other side. I'm going to lay my crimp in there. Make sure there's no wire coming out here. I'm going to squeeze. I'm going to turn it 90 degrees, and that puts each little wire in its own little channel there. Now I'm going to go into the top part of my crimping pliers there, the rounded on each side part. I'm going to lay my crimp in there, and I'm going to squeeze and fold my crimp, and then I'm going to tug, and that's good. I'm going to take my cutters, cut off the extra wire. Now I'm just going to do the same thing on this other side. Cut it off my spool. I just leave it on the spool if I know what my design's going to be. It seems like it doesn't waste as much that way. I'll put my crimp tube on. And my other wire guardian. Get him tangled from around one of my jump rings. There he is. Oops. Well, I can't get hold of it. There it is. Okay, now I'm going to go down the other channel of my wire guardian. Well, I think I am, if I can get it in there. Yeah, there we go. Now I'm going to go down the other, or go back through my crimp tube. I try to go through a bead or two on this side if I can, because that helps get my hands out of the way, away from my crimp tube and my wire guardian and all that. Okay. Pull on my bead string and wire while holding on to my wire guardian to pull it up tight there, but not too tight because we don't want it to be too tight that it won't drape well. I'm going to squeeze in my little wire guardian a little bit, very gently. I have destroyed more of these than than I can probably count. Now I'm going to try to keep my wires from being crossed, make sure there's no slack, but I don't want it to be too tight that it won't drape well. I'm going to take my crimping pliers and go in that second part again. Lay my crimp in there and squeeze. Turn 90 degrees. Put my crimp tube in the top part and squeeze and fold my crimp. Now I'm going to tug. That's good. I'm going to cut off the extra wire. Now that's what I have now. Now I'm going to add my toggle. Take my chain nose pliers and my bent chain nose pliers, and I've got a 6mm jump ring. I'm going to open it up, put it on one end, and put my pretty little dragonfly toggle ring on one side. Then I'm going to take another 6mm jump ring and open it up and put it on the other side with the toggle bar. It has the pretty little dragonfly on it. I just think that's the cutest thing. Put it on there. Close it up. And there's what I've got so far. Now I'm gonna get my stuff together here to make some dangles. Okay, I've got some little things here to make dangles with now. I'm gonna take a ball head pin and my little rondelle bead. I'm gonna take my pliers and go to the very end of the pliers because I don't want a very long neck. I'm gonna bend my head pin over the top of the pliers at a 90-degree angle. I'm gonna take my round nose pliers and put them in the crook of the bend there. I'm gonna bend my wire back until it hits the bead. My round nose pliers are facing me, and now I'm going to rotate them so that they're facing the table. I'm going to take this part, hold on really tight, and pull this part back until it hits the bottom of the tool. Can't go any further. I'm going to cock it back a little bit to straighten the loop over the bead. I'm going to take both pairs of my bent nose pliers. I'm going to hold on with one pair to my loop. I'm going to hold on really tight so my loop doesn't get out of shape. I'm going to take my other pair of bent chain nose pliers and wrap. Try to get that first wrap good and tight because that kind of helps with the rest of them. And I'm just going to wrap until I fill that space up. Now I'm going to take my cutters and cut off the extra wire. I'm going to take my crimping pliers and squish in my little burr that was left from where I cut my wire off. That's one little dangle. I'm gonna get another ball head pin, and I'm gonna put one of my little rice beads on here. I'm gonna do the same thing. Go to the very end of the pliers, bend the wire over, round those pliers in the crook of the bend, bend the wire back till it hits the bead, rotate the pliers, take the wire under, cock it back a little, straighten it over the, center it over the bead, take my bent chain nose pliers, my other bent chain nose pliers, wrap, oops, and just wrap until I fill up that space. And cut off the extra. Take my crimping pliers and squish in my little burr. And there's another dangle. I'm going to take another ball head pin, put my little dragonfly on here. Take my pliers and hold at the very end, bend my wire over, take my round nose pliers, put it in the crook of the bend, bend my wire over till it hits the bead, rotate, take this wire around, cock it back a little, take one pair of my bent nose pliers, the other pair of my bent nose pliers, wrap, keep wrapping until there's no more room. And there's my other dangle. Cut off. My crimping pliers and squish in my little burr. There's my other dangle. And now I'm going to take some, these are 5mm jump rings. Open up my jump ring. Take my little rondelle, put him on there, put it on my jump ring on my bracelet and close it up. Now I'm going to take my another 5mm jump ring, open it up, put my little dragonfly on here, and put it next to my little rondelle. I always put them on the same side of the jump ring. At least I think I did, yeah. I'm going to take another 5mm jump ring. Open it up. My little rice bead on here. Put him next to my dragonfly. Make sure I got all that on there right. It's all laying the way it's supposed to be. I did, yeah, I did. I think. Okay, I didn't. I got that nice little rice bead on the wrong side of my jump ring. So I'm just going to open a jump ring back up. This one connected to the toggle. Probably should have done it that way in the first place. It would have been easier. I'll take all these off. Now I'm going to take my jump ring, put it on my bracelet. Then I'm going to take my rondelle, my dragonfly, and my little rice bead, and then my toggle. That would have been an easier way to do it in the first place. Make sure they all got on the right side. Jump ring closed back up good. There we go. Now, that's better. Okay, now I'm going to get everything together and make a really quick, simple little pair of earrings. Okay, now I'm going to make a really simple and easy little pair of earrings. I'm going to take a ball head pin and a bead cap, an 8mm bead, another bead cap. I'm gonna take my pliers and hold it right at the tip of the plier. I'm going to bend it over the pliers, 90-degree angle. Around those pliers, put it in the crook of the bend. Bend my wire back. Rotate my pliers. Take this part under. Crook it back a little. One pair of bent nose pliers. The other pair of bent nose pliers. Just wrap until I fill up that space. Cut off the extra wire. Oop, almost sent them pliers in the floor again. With my crimping pliers, squish my little burr down. Now I'm going to take an eye pin, one of my little rondelles, put it on there, Take my pliers. These are the ones that keep falling in the floor. They're going to have to behave. I'm going to go a little bit above the bead so that I don't crack my bead. Do a 90-degree turn. Cut off and leave about 1/4 of an inch or so. And hold on to this one so it doesn't go flying. Take my round nose pliers. Just roll back a loop. If it's not straight, and mine rarely ever are, just take both pairs of pliers, just straighten it up. Now I'm going to take chain nose pliers. I'm going to open one side, thread my little dangle on, close it up. I'm going to take my ear wire, open up my ear wire, thread on my little earring, close up my ear wire, and there I have a little pair of, or a little earring. Now I'm going to make the other one off camera and then I'll be back. Okay, there's my very simple little bracelet and pair of earrings, and I brought out the necklace from the last video to show the whole set and how it matches and goes together. As always, thank you all so much for joining me today. I really appreciate those of you who have subscribed to my channel and watched my videos and liked my videos and commented. I have a website where I sell my jewelry. It's Teresa's Handmade Jewelry, and I'll put a link to it in the description box below in case you're interested, along with a link to my Facebook and Instagram and my email. If you haven't, I'd really love it if you'd subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're notified when I upload a new video. So until next time, I hope you all have a great day. Take care.